Yo, what's up? So today I'm going to be showing you the best museum loadout because yeah, obviously in the most recent update they added the museum, which is really OP if you set it up correctly. Definitely make sure you leave a like, you subscribe. Sometimes I do give out a game pass, so definitely subscribe for that. Now let's get straight into this because I have been working on this for quite a while. Now do keep in mind like the weight of the items and also some of the modifiers aren't like 100% perfect, but I'm pretty sure the items in there are pretty solid. So let's check it out. Obviously, there's always room for improvement with this museum update because you can always just get bigger items and stuff. Oh, which actually, before I even show the items, let me show you my multipliers. So as you can see, I have a 2.69 luck and a 2.88 capacity. Now, you'll probably notice I don't have a lot of the other stuff like the modifier boost or the size boost or the cell boost. That's because with this loadout I'm going to show you, I mainly focus on luck and capacity, which has been working extremely well because I have gotten tons of exotics, which I'm actually searching exotic instead of voidstone. Here we go. So yeah, I mean, I've got 5 right now, which is pretty crazy. I've also obviously got a 6th one inside the exotic case inside the museum. So yeah, if you have this set up, you should be able to get tons of exotics. I can't lie. Now, I do know there are people that go for like size boost and stuff. I just go with look and capacity. I've kind of like, I don't know. I've always believed in just those two, if you know what I mean. Just seems to always work out best for me. So let's begin the tour. So we're going to go on the right side. No, you know, actually, we're going to go in order. We're going to go on the left side and we're going to start with the commons. So the first item I've got is the iridescent seashell. Now, by the way, keep in mind, what you want to aim for is you want to aim for void torn, because that's the best modifier you can get in terms of museum, because it actually gives you extra luck and capacity, I'm pretty sure. So always go for like void torn. That one's really, really OP. Obviously, you get it in the void. And the reason I don't have a void torn right now is because I don't have a void torn seashell. So yeah. Also, obviously, always go for the highest weighted item as well. So in the common slot, we've got a seashell, which you'll notice a very common theme. It's always luck and capacity. We got silver as well. And then next up, we got or pyrite. However I say that, I have no idea. All 3 commons have got luck and capacity. Very nice. On the uncommons, we go to the smoky quartz. And then we go to the topaz. And then next up, we got the void torn coral. So yeah, I mean, this side of the room is really good because it literally is only luck and capacity. I mean, look at this. This is beautiful. Now, it gets a bit more tricky on the other side because obviously you can have 3 slots of different rarity, but you can't always have luck and capacity. That's the problem I was having because you can only have 1 item in the 3 slots. So for example, like the emerald's pretty good. So if I could just have multiple, I would have just had the emerald in all 3 slots, probably. But you can only have 1 in each individual slot. So you need to have 3 different of the rarity, which means, you know, because you've got to have 3 different ones, there's not always like a luck option. So over here, I think there's a scenario somewhere. Oh no, actually, well, it kind of doesn't exist for me actually, because the thing is, I've always gone for void torn options, and void torn actually does give you luck and capacity. So yeah, that's kind of a thing for me. That's why I recommend you always go for void torn. But when you're building this, some of these items you place down, it might not have always luck and capacity. So that's why you've always got to make sure you got void torn on. Anyway, next up, we got the ruby, just like so. And then I've got the meteoric iron, which is pretty sick. And then we've got the peridots. And then moving on to the epics, I've got the ammonite fossil. I then have the golden pearl, which obviously this is not great. This one needs to be way bigger and also have a void torn as well. I need to work on that one in particular. And then obviously we've got this emerald, which is absolutely huge. It's called the void torn emerald. And actually, let's just check the side real quick. The size. Pretty sure this is like over 10 kg. Okay, it's 9.2. So that's pretty crazy how big that is. Like, I don't think you could get much bigger in the museum. Otherwise, it's going to go through the ceiling. So yeah, pretty crazy. So now we're on to the legendary. So I've got a diamond, as you can see. I've got the aluminum, and then finally on the legendaries, we've got the cat's eye, as you can see. So very, very nice. Also, you might be thinking, like, how come some items have like a really high luck and a really low capacity, and some items have a really low luck and a high capacity? That's mainly because, so with the diamond, for example, right? I'm pretty sure the diamond only gives luck. Like the luck for the diamond is like its primary like buff, and the capacity is actually added on just because of the void torn like modifier. So you've got to think about it that way. So if you see one that's high capacity with low luck, like this one here, like this is a 0. Hold on, we're gonna back it up. It's too big. Gotta back it up. Okay, there we go. So the capacity is 0.33 and the luck is 0.03, which is obviously a massive difference there. That's because the capacity of the aluminum is the primary buff, and the luck is only there because it has the Void Torn modifier. So that's why there's a big difference there. And obviously, you know, I guess the devs had to balance the game. So there's not many items that have the primary luck. Well, compared to capacity anyway, I've noticed. There's definitely more capacity, like primary buffs, than luck for sure. And I guess they did that to balance out the game. But yeah, Cat's Eye, Aluminum, and Diamond for my legendaries. And then for the exotics and mythics, I actually have a pink diamond, which gives me a 0.36 luck boost, which is actually pretty insane. Now, with the Prismara, now you can actually decide what you want to do, because I'm pretty sure the Flare Bloom is actually very good with luck. Let's see like what the best one I've got here. So I do have a Void Torn one, but it's got a 0.48 kg, which obviously is not that great. But I do have this 4.4 electrified one. I don't even know what the electrified gives. Wow, look at that, by the way. That looks amazing. The Flare Bloom. It looks beautiful, dude. This belongs in a museum. Okay, let's see what the luck difference is. So 0.17 for the Prismara, and the Flare Bloom is a 0.66. Wow. Oh, but it does give me a minus size boost. Okay, that is interesting. But it does give you a 0.66, so that should push me. Oh yeah, wow. Look, I'm over 3 now. And it also gives me dig and shake speed. Wow, that is nuts. What does electrified even give? I don't even know. I need to like have a look. Oh, so apparently electrified gives dig speed and shake speed. Wow, okay. So yeah, well, that's gonna look better for the thumbnail, I guess, having free luck. That's actually what I was working towards. But the reason I always kept the Prismara is because the Prismara just gives so much different stuff. Like, look at this. Prismara gives dig strength, shake strength, luck, and capacity. But to be honest, the difference in luck is mental. So yeah, I mean, look at that, bro. Look at the difference there. That's actually crazy. The only thing that worries me is that size boost. I tell you what, in this game, every time you get something really OP, they've always got to add a negative, haven't they? Same thing with like the Frosthorn Pendant. That also gives you a negative dig speed. And also with the Cryogenic Preserver, that gives you a negative 18 shake speed. So yeah, I mean, they just do that to balance it out. And then the final item I've got is actually the Void Stone, which surprisingly, the Void Stone gives less luck than this Flare Bloom. So that's pretty crazy. But yeah, actually, wait, let me just quickly check if I've got a better Void Stone, because obviously you want to constantly be updating your stuff. So like I've got a 5 kg one right here. Let's see. I doubt this is better. What is that? So 0.35, and then the Void Torn 0.43. So as you can see, even though this Irradiated Void Stone has a higher weight, it actually has less luck because it doesn't have that Void Torn enchantment or modifier, I mean. So definitely make sure you're always going for the Void Torns because they're really OP. So yeah, look at that. Over 3 times luck. Bro, that is nuts. Because even with my, my capacity, I mean, look at this. I've got 6,000 almost. Bro, that is insane. And my luck is 5,733 right now. Also, wait, why am I running back? I should use the fast travel. Does anybody else do that? Sometimes I just forget to use the fast travel. I feel like they've got to add an update where we can get like a mobile phone and just use a fast travel anywhere. That would be amazing. So yeah, let me just go buy some boosts and stuff, and we'll check how much luck I can get. I'm pretty sure, I don't really know how much I'm going to get right now because I don't have any friend boost or anything. But usually friend boost does actually boost you up a lot, by the way. Always make sure you're playing with friends if you can, because you would be surprised, like, when you've got everything working together, like all your boosts and potions and, you know, your totems and meteors going, like, friend boost can actually add, like, hundreds of luck per friend. It's pretty crazy. I remember back in the day, I did not think friend boost was that crazy in this game, but it turns out it actually really is. So do not underestimate that. Okay, so pretty sure I have everything on, I believe. Now let's go over here. Now I'm just going to place everything down. This is kind of a waste because I'm not really going to be grinding right now, but I guess for the sake of the video, I might as well just show you. So boom, boom. And then you know what? I'm just going to spend my Robux as well. Here we go. I know, what a waste right now because I don't even plan on grinding. So this is kind of an L, I can't lie. And then boom, how much are we getting? So we've got 15,000 right now. 15,000 luck. That's pretty good. Now keep in mind, obviously that's without admin abuse and yeah, without like the admin shower or anything. I mean, or even like the blizzard, you know, on like the snowy island, which is a new event, by the way. On the snowy island, there's like an event called blizzard that spawns. It gives you like 2 times luck. I've only ever seen it spawn a few times though, so it's not like the most common thing to spawn. But yeah, 5,500 capacity, 15,000 luck. I mean, yeah, like this is pretty OP. And keep in mind, like the loadout I showed you, the items or the ores or whatever you want to call it, like obviously try and keep that similar, but just always work towards getting better versions of them. So like better weight and stuff. It can be tricky because obviously it's a bit of a pain, or it can be a bit like tedious, I guess is the right word, but it's definitely worth doing because yeah, you just slowly upgrading your museum, which is basically what I've been working towards. Trying to get better weighted items just so I can keep upgrading my museum slowly over time. But yeah, appreciate you, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.